So we're celebrating here at Rotary with two speakers from the York County School of Technology. Jerry and Scott will help us better understand the crucial role that career and technical education plays in readying students and our country for economic success. Gerard Mentz, who's Director of Student Services at York County School of Technology. He received his Bachelor of Science from Gannon University, where he majored in chemistry with a minor in secondary education. He has a Master's in Education Leadership from the College of Notre Dame in Maryland. Jerry started his career teaching chemistry at Aberdeen High School in Maryland, and then he assumed principal positions in Maryland and at York County School of Technology. He has served as Director of Student Services for York County School of Technology for the past 4 years. Scott Rogers is Assistant Director at York County School of Technology. He received his bachelor's degree from the University of Vermont, where he majored in secondary education and minored in English. He has 2 master's degrees. His Master's of Science in Education and Educational Technology is from Johns Hopkins, and he has a Master's of Education, Career and Technology Education from the University of Maryland, Eastern Shore. Scott started his career teaching in the Baltimore County Public Schools, and as I mentioned, he is now Assistant Director at York County School of Technology. We're going to ask Jerry and Scott to come on up to the podium.
Good afternoon. We're extremely excited to be here this afternoon to discuss with you our role in preparing students for the 21st century workforce. There's a lot of information out there discussing where we are in our current trends in education. One of the most interesting things that I've watched is Mike Rowe, who's the host of the show Dirty Jobs, discussing with Congress his view on where we are right now with the workforce. And most of the congressional testimony refers to his grandfather as a plumber and how proud he was of his grandfather, yet his grandfather never realized what an honorable job plumbing was. What he stated in his testimony, we have slowly marginalized an entire category of critical professions, reshaping our expectations of a good job into something that no longer looks like work. He continued on to say, to close the skills gap, we need to change the way this country feels about work. Moving forward, trends in the workforce, there's an interesting YouTube clip, Success in the New Economy, by Kevin Fleming. And this is about a 10-minute clip, and I certainly, if you have time, would encourage you to Google this and take a look, because it really changed a lot of my viewpoints on how we prepare students. It says over the last 3 generations, we've gone 13% of our population dependent on higher education to 60% today. In 1960, 20% of our jobs required 4-year degrees, 20% required technical skills, and 60% of our workforce was unskilled labor. By 2018, Harvard's predicting that 33% of our jobs are going to require a 4-year degree, while the rest require training and technical skills at either the credential level or an associate's degree. He states in this that the true ratio of workers should be 1 to 2 to 7. And what he states there is for every 1 person with a master's degree requires 2 jobs with somebody with a bachelor's degree and 7 people with credentialed skills. He then talks about the college for all where we are now and says it does not mean we're in a university degree for all. Rather, we need to broaden our thoughts into a post-high school credential or associate's degree for all so that everybody is trained to go into the workforce. I have the opportunity every year to go and visit with 14 different middle schools in the districts that feed York County School of Technology and talk to prospective students about their futures and where they are. We started about 5 years ago with 1,350 full-time students attending the York County School of Technology. As of the start of this year, we're at 1,730 full-time students and 300 students left on the waiting list that were unable to be accepted. Right now, we have close to 850 applicants for 450 slots for the York County School of Technology, which is showing an increasing trend in the number of students recognizing the importance of a technical education. At York County School of Technology, we offer not only 26 technical programs, but also integrate our academics into our programs. We hope to continue to grow our students and prepare them. Mr. Rogers is actually going to come up and talk more specifically about our programs and the training we provide for our students.
Thank you, Mr. Mentz. As you see, we have 26 career and technical education programs. Each one of these programs is aligned to what we call a high priority occupation. We want to make sure that the tax dollars and investments made in each of these programs can enable our students to directly graduate and go on to multiple opportunities, whether it's a 2-year school, 4-year school, military, or directly into the workforce or a trade school. Every single technical program that we have is advised by what we call an occupational advisory committee. Throughout those 26 programs, we have 400 additional employees and employers who come to us twice a year that we host in the evening and one time during the day to advise our technical teachers and our students on what they should be learning within their 4-year programs and what they need to be able to get that labor market advantage once they graduate, to be able to get a job that we like to call a family-sustaining wage. Our technical programs are always looked at with a critical eye because we want to make sure that we maintain and ensure that they are training so the students can have those 21st century skills. The equipment that we have within those programs, every single piece of equipment that we obtain either through a grant, is donated or purchased, is advised to us by those employees and employers to say those are the skills that those students need to be able to go out and get a job within the workforce. At the end of their senior year, they take a 3-day exam. One day is a performance NOCTI. It's a hands-on assessment that's put together by the National Occupational Competency Testing Institute out of Michigan. We have employers who come in and actually judge our students on how well they perform on that performance exam, and that can be on anything that takes from 3 to 7 different tasks that are completed during the time period within that school day. And then they're judged by those employees and employers who sometimes also serve on the advisory committees. Our teachers are not allowed on the testing area that day. The next 2 days, they take a written test, half on one day and half on another, and then their scores put together. And based on that, that's what we're very happy and ecstatic, that 89 to 90% of our students for the past 2 years have gotten advanced and competent on those individual competency assessment exams. Also, based on postgraduate surveys, a majority of our graduates are enrolled in higher education or employed in the technical field in which they graduate. We'll talk a little bit about that later on. Pathways. The other thing we've looked at is we want to make sure our students are well-rounded in each of their technical fields. For instance, within the information technology field, it used to be a student came in and entered the electronics and computer repair program for 4 straight years. Based on advice from our advisory committee members and employers and employees like you, it came to us, we want IT individuals who are well-rounded. So we took our computer programming program, our cybersecurity and networking program, our electronics and computer repair program, and our IT systems management program, and came up with a 2-year pathway that students get to go through that over the course of 2 years, and then their junior and senior year choose a major in which they really specialize. That has given us the feedback, and as well as the graduation results, that we are turning out students who are ready to work and have the skills necessary to be able to go on and receive those jobs. We also have a similar rotation program within our construction pathway and our transportation pathway. We also have a lot of parent, alumni, and student influence on how how we operate and run things at our school. We constantly meet with them, and one of the things that really came up from both parents and students and our alumni was the opportunity for students to participate and take advanced placement and honors courses. Believe it or not, you could walk into some honors courses, advanced placement courses, and you're going to see what's statistically, or stereotypically I should say, a number of diesel tech students in that program who are doing very well. We have a number of students, we always say that phrase, who do you want working on your car, who do you want working in your home, who do you want working on the technical things that keep your businesses running, operating 24 hours a day. And that's what we're making sure that we're taking these students, giving them those academic opportunities as well as those high quality technical opportunities. College and career ready. This is where we have really taken a look at the investment of what our students get once they graduate from us. We have 2 programs in place between two different surveys that are sent out. One is a life track survey that students complete on graduation, 18 months out, and then 5 years out. So we want to find out where they are. We tried a few things with social networking to constantly and be in connection with our alumni, the high school students who graduated. We found out that that wasn't working. At graduation, though, for the past couple of years, we told everyone to get out their phone. It was kind of what are they asking our phone? Why are they asking us to take out our phones right now? We told them to put in our alumni hotline, which is 505-4745. And we told them that in 6 months, we're going to be calling them over the holiday break in December. And we want them to constantly keep in contact with us about what they're doing and how their job success is. That has really brought up our numbers to increase our return percentage over 60%. And believe it or not, based on the returns that we get from both the written survey as well as the alumni hotline, over 3/4 of our students are staying and remaining in York County School, York County. And as a result, we know that they're earning jobs and paying tax, and they're part of the tax base, and we're ecstatic and very happy about that. This is where they end up going, whether it's a 2-year school, 4-year, directly in employment, or apprenticeship, or trade school. One of the great things now, as you can see when Jerry talked about the 1 to 2 to 7, and the number of 2-year technical schools that are recruiting our students are able to come through a technical program and take advantage of what we call the SOAR program, where the students occupationally and academically ready. We understand that students graduating at age 18 may not be mature enough or have all the technical skills to be able to step into a job right away. But working with our 2-year post-secondary partners, they're able to graduate and walk into some of these 2-year schools that we have listed up there, really small print, but it's on pacollegetransfer.net. They can walk out with 12 college credits to help them earn a 2-year degree, and potentially as quick as a 1.5 years. This also helps them in terms of affordability. A number of our 2-year technical schools that we partner with have a very high placement rate, such as 95-99%. Our graduates who graduated just last year, these were their plans, and as you know, we follow up with them 6 months and 18 months later. We find out that a majority of them are, based on their plans for graduating, are also continuing those plans 6 months and 18 months and even 5 years out. So as you can see there, 46% are going on directly into the workforce, a majority of which is within York County, 21% to a 4-year college. Those 21%, they go on to a 4-year college, and the 19% that go on to a 2-year college. Over 80% are going into a technical field which they studied for the past 4 years. 12% are going into the military within those technical fields that are actually giving them the opportunity to get jobs in the military that are tough to fill because the military wants those individuals who have that background. And then 2% up. These graduate surveys have done very well for us. We're happy and excited about that. Just to give you an idea on our student responses from the class of 2010, we have seen, in terms of even admissions, a number of alumni who are sending their students to us because they had a great experience at York Tech. They want to make sure that their own sons or daughters have the same opportunities. 5-year results showed that 85% of our student responses from the class of 2010 indicated they were able to find a job that was able to support them after graduating from York Tech or move on to additional training programs. 92% indicated that they were definitely prepared to enter the workforce. 94% of our students would recommend York Tech to a potential new student. I'm just seeing if there's any other data or points that I can point out to you, and I think we do have it covered. If you ever have any questions or want to come take a tour to see what we do there in York County School of Technology for this year, 1,650 students from our 14 sending districts, please don't hesitate to contact us if you would like to be involved in a number of our either our occupational advisory committee or our local advisory committee, which even advises the administration on what we should be doing and looking at for future technical programs, such as we look to expand our engineering and advanced manufacturing program next year. Please do not hesitate to contact us. We'll definitely give you a tour and show you all the great things that we are doing. I'll open it up to questions.